Facebook Live. Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. And this is Tristan, who's a Corgi, and this is episode 61 of Conversations with a Corgi. And we're still at the T-Touch class in Rockville, Maryland, with Linda Tellington and some wonderful dogs. It's our last day. One of our great to-be soon practitioners, Diana Gunn from Ohio, is graduating today. She's been working with Tristan in the car, and it's really a great thing to be able to share that with her when she's just about to graduate from practitioner school. She did a lovely presentation on communicating with animals. And yesterday we had a great talk in the afternoon about food and food choices for your pets. And it became apparent to me that in fact the whole evolution of good feeding for pets was really run by people who had sick pets, who went to their vets, and the vet was not helpful because a lot of vets were not on board with holistic medicine in the late 90s. And the people just desperately figured out what they would feed their dogs, a lot of it from their own refrigerator for themselves, and the dogs got better. Allergies improved, gut problems improved, coat grew back, better teeth, better breath, better vitality, weight gain, and just overall better health. And so those pet owners were really the revolution that led to a lot of our information today about pet foods and using raw food and lightly cooked food for our dogs to give them better nutrition. And we have a woman in our group, Susan Collins, who was one of the first people to look at raw diets for cats. And this is so important for kitty owners. Kitties chronically have kidney and liver problems that often lead to their expiring before their time. And that's often because they're fed a kibble diet. And cats' real food, if you think about it, is mice. Mice are like 70 to 80% water, depending on the age of the mouse. That is a lot more than you're going to get in kibble, and most cats won't eat kibble floating in water. Even if they would, they could not consume enough water to offset what the kibble does to their system. So it's really important to feed your cats, at the very least, all canned food. And I know many vets say, oh, it's bad for their teeth. But in fact, you can give them treats and little bones to chew on and things, and you can use my sister, Dr. Judy Morgan's dental drops if your cat has a tooth problem. But the damage to your cat's body from eating kibble is so enormous if you choose to do that. And so I really encourage you all to feed your cat canned food at the very least. And in fact, what my friend Susan did was feed her cat a raw food diet. And she did a lot of research into the nutrition and chemistry required to give cats a good raw food diet, and wrote a little booklet, which she then later self-published into a book, which I'm going to offer in my store on my website. When I come home, I'm going to bring a few copies back. So if anyone that's listening to this has cats and would like to switch them to a raw diet, this is a wonderful book. It shows you several options based on your economy and lifestyle and ease of management. And cats are little. It doesn't take a lot to feed them a raw diet. And for our dogs, the same thing is so important to look at feeding them a raw diet. I know some of the pet therapy associations don't allow you to feed your pet raw food. I think this is a real crime against dogs and therapy animals in general, because dogs really do well on a raw diet, and dogs are the ones that are prone to getting sick when they're visiting nursing homes and schools, not the people there. So we need a dog with vibrant health. So I know that there are concerns that people don't manage a raw diet well, but at this point in time we have frozen raw diets, we have dehydrated raw diets, we have many options that are healthy and sanitary and easy to manage. And sure, there's some slight possibility when you're handling raw chicken that there could be some contamination, but you know, again, when you're feeding a raw diet, just use common sense like you would in your own kitchen. Wash your hands, wipe your counters, use bleach to kill any bacteria. I choose to feed my dog frozen and dehydrated raw food, and he's been doing great on that. Haven't you, Tris? Look at that, happy little boy. My sister is always commenting on his little black patent leather nose, which is a sign of good health. Her dogs are all senior citizens and have not had good care until they came to her, and so not all of them have that shiny little black nose that Tristan has. So take some time today and do some research, and you can certainly go to drjudymorgan.com. She has webinars and Facebook Lives and tons of reading material on her website, and look at feeding your dog a raw food diet. And if you get to that step, you might also look at the Chinese medicine energetics of food. And for instance, if you have a hot dog, you want to feed him cold food. Tristan's orange and he's a little bit excitable, and right now he's very hot. And he's a dog that needs to eat cold food, which for him, turkey's neutral, he eats mostly that, and duck when I can get it. And geese. Those are all cold foods. So they help balance him out energetically. And if a dog has been getting a raw diet and he's still not thriving, you might have to look at whether or not your dog needs to go from a chicken-based diet to more cold foods. Beef is another cold food, but Tristan can't tolerate beef very well, so he sticks to the birds, the bird families. And Judy can actually do a consult for you online or at her office live if you're near South Jersey about the energetics of your dog. And there are many acupuncture vets now who can talk to you about whether you have a cold or a hot dog, and you can certainly research food options online and incorporate those into your dog's diet. I know when I was feeding Tristan more of a chicken-based diet when he was younger, chicken's a hot food, he's a hot dog, and he had a lot of problems. He had mostly that I noticed in his coat and his attitude. He had a hard time settling down. He was hot all the time. His coat wasn't very good. It wasn't thick and lustrous like it is now. It was a bit dry and brittle. His eyes weren't as shiny, and it was just like eating something you're slightly allergic to every day when I was feeding him chicken. As soon as I switched him to goose and duck and turkey, he immediately started to thrive. So it's really important to look at what you're feeding your dogs, and I think it's pretty interesting that a lot of people who eat organic, whole foods, just like in my co-op at home, one of the only dog foods they had for years was Newman's Own kibble. Well, you're still not feeding your dog at the level you're eating if you're shopping in the co-op for organic, low ingredient, no GMO foods. So they now carry Honest Kitchen, which is a dehydrated raw that I feed my dog, and some other healthier options. So think about that next time you're in your health food store, and you're buying things for yourselves. What are you doing for your dog to improve his health? So we're going to get started in a few minutes. The traffic is quite dense this morning for some reason, and people are checking out of their rooms, so we're a little slow getting going here. And Tristan, he was very good in the car without his wraps, I must say. He had a little jaunt around the neighborhood this morning without talking to me about what he was doing, and I couldn't find him for, it seemed like, 3 hours, but it was like 5 minutes. And then he was standing by the car door ready to go just when I was about to call an animal communicator and ask for help. So we were having an exciting morning as well. So we will see you possibly Friday. I may stop at Monkey's house on the way home tomorrow and work on some of those senior dogs there if I have time. If I do that, I will try to Facebook Live from Monkey's house, because a lot of people that know me might not necessarily know my sister. And of course, she's done so much work with Monkey's house, and it's such a great dog hospice and sanctuary for senior dogs that have no home. And Michelle Allen, the owner, does a fabulous job of feeding these dogs really good diets. A lot of them have really regained vibrant health from the food and the good care that she has given them. So it would be a pleasure for me to be able to stop in there and bring some T-Touch work to the pets. Michelle has actually taken a class years ago with Linda, and she would love to have an update from me on some of the techniques and refine her skills. So we may see you tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll see you at Friday. What is tomorrow? Friday morning. I'll be back at 8:25. We'll be home then, and we'll be having quite a few sessions with my dog and people clients because we've been away. So thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you in a couple days or tomorrow from Monkey's house. Bye-bye.